Hey guys, this is bringing you another video. Now, welcome back to Challenge or High Rating Spectate. We've actually not done one of these in a few weeks, and I will say the reason why I've not really calmed down doing those, but I just haven't done those, and I also presume those two are swapping, is because we've been very productive on the main account content. Like, there's been time in the past, especially the YouTube channel, you don't know sometimes the struggle it's been to maintain the 2 videos a day every day. But nowadays, I'm like a week ahead of content all the time. And part of it has been the introduction of doing those sessions where I just upload every game. If I play 6 or 8 games, well, that's days worth of content that I'm just uploading. And I think you guys are enjoying that. But the reason why I wanted to do this is some of you may know my history with Rengar. If you don't, it was a long time ago. We are literally talking 10 years ago now. So what I was is, you know, it doesn't really matter. But I was a very well-known and good Rengar top player. Again, literally season 2, 3. Well, more season 3. Yeah, Rengar top was a big pick of mine. And I'd even get banned out and stuff like that. So with my return to the jungle, and again, just see, by the way, this is not a great first clear for Rengar. He's late to clearing, no leash, not ideal. And just to put up a perspective on Liga graphs, when you set the filter to EU West, this is currently the highest rated Rengar. The account is clearly a Smurf account, I believe. It's in Master, crazy win rate, crazy KDA, and I just thought I'd give it a watch. And obviously not an ideal start, you know, and that's something that I do want to sometimes point out is I've been jungling. You always want that ideal start. You always want that leash. It is worth mentioning, it is becoming more common for junglers to have no leash no matter where they are. It's because that getting to lane just to be there, sometimes it is quite make or break. Not all the time, but a lot of the time it can be. But yeah, with my history, obviously, of Rengar, played him years ago, people have always, over the last even couple of years, been like, oh, Huz, you should play Rengar again. I stopped playing him because I kind of moved on for that playstyle, but then also he got a rework, and I didn't like the rework. Obviously, that since has been basically reverted. So it is, in essence, old Rengar again. And with me going back to the jungle, you know, I've been playing his kind of alter half Kha'Zix a little bit. And I don't even know if those videos have come out yet. Maybe one of them has, but, you know, slight spoiler. We're doing quite well on Kha'Zix a lot of the time. Meanwhile, First Blood, Rek'Sai bot lane. Thumbs up from Rengar. And you can see the Warwick. So the Rengar is pinging the Warwick. So what I presume has happened is he wanted to start blue so he could path his way down bot lane. Warwick then refused, and maybe in chat said, I'm not giving you a leash. And thus, that's where he went to go do red instead. For those that are like, why would he not solo blue and then move down? I think partially because if you at least start red, if you have to solo, red obviously gives you regen, health regen. So you are a little bit healthier in the jungle. If you start blue and then you make yourself down to red, you are going to be quite low health doing your clear. That's my guess. But he still does a relatively healthy clear. And also, even though he didn't get a gank, a leash from the Warwick, he is still looking for a gank in the guy's lane. So, you know, he's a good sport, I guess, about it. Worth knowing as well, the runes Conqueror, Triumph, Bloodline, Cut Down, and then Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and then Attack Speed, Attack Damage, Armor. We are against a Rek'Sai jungle who, well, Rek'Sai's realistically just is the rise of Rek'Sai. Obviously, Rek'Sai got a change that turned her from an assassin, realistically, to a bruiser. And that is what Rek'Sai is designed to be. You know, Rek'Sai, as an assassin in the last couple years, is not what she is supposed to be at all, by design. It was just items made her that way, especially Prowler's Claw. And obviously, with the changes, yes, they kept kind of Rek'Sai as an assassin, because then Yumu's was broken. But yeah, worth knowing, obviously, Ivan, very overpowered champion at the moment, and I will say I have a video of him coming out. It won't be out for a few days, but I do play a game of Ivan jungle. Obviously, the synergy between Ivan and Rengar is very strong, so much so If you have them together, incredible synergy. But if you're playing Ivan, it is recommended to ban Rengar, because Rengar gains strength from being in bushes. You know, he gains his leap all the time. And Ivan creates bushes anywhere. It gives Rengar so much more utility. And that obviously counts if you're against a Rengar. He uses your bushes against you. So Rengar once again going for it. See, he's actually made, unfortunately for Rengar, he has made a few mistakes. He is just going all in a little bit too hard, though. The mistake that Rengar made there, and he did it twice, but he might be okay. They're going to get one kill, the Ivan shield, oh, the double kill, and then the triple kill, or the near enough triple kill. That was really cool. Good Ivan shield. Some of you may notice the first gank he did, he bowlered the Soraka, got her flash. The second gank, he again bowlered the Soraka. And I don't think either of them, those bowlers, the E, he meant realistically to hit the Soraka. I think he wanted the Jhin on both times, but at least it worked in some regard. So now, the jungle clear obviously will begin again. And I actually can put objective timers on. So obviously, it's this kind of weird space when you're jungling. He's got 40 seconds until this red comes up, or is it 20? It's true. Yeah, it's that one. 35 seconds till that comes up. But now you're in a weird time because you're then going to clear that, and then that will leave probably 20 seconds maybe to go until red spawns. But then what do you go do? Do you go continue go get wolves? What he's going to do is try to go get a scuttle crab, obviously. And this is actually going to work out because it gives him the scuttle crab. Then he can go return to red, and it hasn't really hurt his clear. Because I've been in that position sometimes, and you're just like, I don't know where to go. He's actually starting dragon. Wow, okay. So this is something that I think I need to do more of personally as well. Some of the junglers that I play aren't very good at it, but I never like doing dragon without my bot lane, or at least having mid lane prio. But sometimes you can just sneak a dragon. Again, does depend what jungler you're playing. I'd say Gragas, probably not the best at doing this. Yes, he could kill it. It will be slow. If you're playing a Kha'Zix or a Rengar or something like that, Jarvan, they can kill a dragon like that quite easily. And that is, again, something that I think I need to do when I'm playing these more AD, especially carry champions. Just look to do a solo dragon. I think that's not a bad thing to do. Rek'Sai, the other side of the map. Warwick had to ultimate away, but ultimating away is good because that means they still have both summoners and they still have got flash. Rengar ding 6, so ahead of the Rek'Sai, and maybe they'll be looking for a play here. They've just cleared some vision from that bush, but I don't think the play is on. Severe obviously in bot lane doing incredibly well with farm, and Rengar looking bot lane. So bot lane is still naturally the lane to go for most junglers. But the basic principle of AD carries are incredibly strong, and they have been the whole season. Whoa. That's a crazy dive. It's working, kinda. Oh my god, it worked-ish. Mal's is going to end up with a double kill. Yeah, he is. Okay, Rengar got 1, Mal's got 2. Good for Mal's to be there. But that was a little bit crazy dive. What I liked from the Rengar, and I will say this is definitely part of when I used to play Rengar top, part of the champion is decisiveness. You need to be decisive. If you hesitate, and that goes for most assassins, but if you hesitate on something like Rengar, you won't make that play. You won't get that kill. That's an assassin kind of ethos. And Rengar is definitely part of that you just have to go all in. You just have to do it. So it's worth knowing as well, even though Rek'Sai is kind of known to be now a fighter, this Rek'Sai is still building lethality. Lethality is still very strong. Riot have it in, a near-dear part of their heart. I know there was a whole Reddit thread discussing, like, the games felt a little bit stale recently because it's just been the same champions pretty much and the same kind of meta feel for quite a while. And I'd agree to that. I don't think anybody's going to have a surprise. It has felt the same. AD carries have been really strong. Assassins are good. It's the same champions. Even though, again, Rek'Sai has been now changed to go be a fighter, they're still building lethality, which is quite funny. I've just noticed Vladimir's first item. So Mal's is a very big Vladimir counter. Arguably the best champion against Vladimir. because you lock him down, you stop him, you can continuously poke him, so he cannot massively use his, you know, innate sustain, where like a normal mage cannot outpoke and farm at the same time, but a Mal's can. And locking him down obviously is quite an important thing too. So QSS first item, I mean, on one hand, I get it. I do get it partially. Okay, here's the Rengar ult. Obviously, Jace is aware of this. Whoa, that Warwick missed that badly. Doesn't matter, he does get the kill. Woo. But yeah, that was a bit of an odd Warwick ult. Obviously, Ivan roaming. And the thing with some, you know, roaming supports work in theory, but here's the negative to it. In theory. So yeah, you just killed their Jace, great. Your AD carry has died, and your AD carry is your main carry. You know, it just is. So you killing Jace top isn't really worth your main carry dying in bot lane nowadays. AD carries are simply too important. That's the negative to roaming as a support. You leave your AD carry so isolated. Ivan's going to try and protect the tower. I don't think he's going to manage it, but we'll see. They're just going to look for potentially an all-in. Don't know. The shielding is obviously happening. Again, Ivan damage, do not underestimate it. It's actually weirdly high right now. Does actually protect the tower, so fair play. Rengar finally basing, going to pick himself up at Yumu's too. Will say, I don't know if he's changing his mind. Yeah, Yumu's is actually obviously being nerfed down. Don't get me wrong, it's still strong. But more people now are going Duskblade or Drakthar. Another dead. Don't know why Ivan did that. So a lot of people are going with Duskblade or then Eclipse. Duskblade, I will just say right now, is probably going to get nerfed. Obviously, they changed it because it was an unhealthy passive of... It was... Okay, do you know? It was an unhealthy passive of making things stealthed, and that was unhealthy. But obviously now they've made it that you get untargetable. It's still really unhealthy. And there's a lot of people are saying it's more annoying now that they're untargetable than stealth. To a certain degree. So, yeah, because like, at least, it sounds stupid, but at least with stealth, you can't see them being annoying. But when you're untargetable, they're kind of there, and just there's nothing you can do about it. You're like, well, I can't hit them. Obviously, with any point and click. So Rengar ults, and again, you know, you don't hit. And there's the QSS use, by the way. Lovely bush combo with Ivan and him. It does go down, does the mouse. I don't know if he obviously was fully aware of the... What? That Rek'Sai might regret that. Soraka ulti, yeah. Learn to regret that. Don't take on a Rengar with an Ivan. That combo is just one of the best combos in League. Look, the Rek'Sai is literally pinging Ivan Rengar. Yeah. Don't take that on. It is just ridiculous. And obviously worth knowing, we're in high rating here, so these aren't duo. They can't duo in the rank that this match is in. But yeah, kind of nuts. The thing is that Mouse did die, which is kind of weirdly impressive considering Vlad doesn't actually have any completed major damage item. Vlad is a strong champion, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if Vlad, when he was ulting I don't know if Mouse, when he was ulting, was he in tower? Was he taking tower hits, I guess, maybe? So again, Bowler into the jump. He is in vision right now. I think the enemy team did just get vision of him. Again, obviously counter jungling nowadays is good again. Riot removed really the need to counter jungle. Or why are you going near? Look at it. He just give him push and he just jumps. Look at it. And he dies. Yeah, I don't know why he did it that much. He kind of overdid it for no reason. So now both of them are going to be dead. He's trying to give the Jhin... Oh, flash. Don't. Yeah. Flashing away from a Rek'Sai is always a bit weird. Again, just want to point out, I love pointing this out when I do high rating spectates. To be fair, I haven't had the comment in ages, but when I first started jungling a few months ago, people kept saying, Huz, your clear is not optimal. And like they kept saying it, you know, even at the 15-minute mark, you need to have optimal clear. You really don't. So if you look, Rengar's jungle has been up for ages. He's not optimizing his clear at all. You don't need to do that. Like, realistically, you don't. The way of modern League means you don't have to play optimized. And I know that might sound weird to some people, but you don't. Modern League is Fiesta. It is high damage, high pace, just high tempo. And the biggest thing that you can do is affect the map and make sure that the enemy team has constant pressure on them. If you're optimizing your clear even at the 15-minute mark, you're probably not going to have much map pressure. You don't need to do that. And, you know, yes, you could say, oh, but you'll make more gold, you'll be more fed. That's all true. But then if the enemy jungler, for example, the Rek'Sai, is 7 kills in, that deflates your team. If you're farming, you're like, oh, guys, don't worry about it. I'm really fed from farm and I'm optimizing my clear. The enemy jungler takes over, makes their lane fed, gets all the dragons, gets whatever. Doesn't matter that you're fed through farm or optimized clear. Your team's morale's going to go. And that's where you'll always get those comments of, oh, jungle diff. A lot of the time, it is not a skill difference sometimes when it comes to jungle diff. It's a playstyle difference. You have one jungler that is really getting involved and really just making an effort to affect practically the map. And then you've got the other jungler that is just doing the kind of almost robotic clearing, unclearing, and clearing. And it's just, that's not the way to play. So Rengar ulti does get the splash out of Soraka, is going to continue. Malzahar ulti on top as well. Can they finish it off? Yes, they can. Rengar does a smart thing and just flashes away. Severe damage over the top with Malzdot, by the way. Not bad at all, but I think the enemy team will survive for now. Warwick making his way over. And now an instant big push is happening because the Rift Herald is here. So again, it's that instantaneous go that I really like to see. And obviously this, Warwick just missed another ult, did he? Or did he hit that one? He might have hit that one, to be fair. Again, normally Vlad would be really scary, but because he has a QSS, he isn't going to be as scary in terms of damage as he normally would be. But that's still a really good play. 17 minutes technically opening their base. And just to make the point, it is good that they didn't take the inhib. Taking inhibs, I know to a lot of people is like, that's always a good thing, no matter what. Not necessarily. So taking in a really early inhib, I'd say pre-20 minutes, is only good if you end the game a few minutes later. Like if you're so fed that it doesn't matter. If it's a close game, and look at this game, the enemy team are technically ahead in kills. Yes, they've got 2 dragons, they're ahead by 4,000 or just under gold. But on kills, it's quite a close game. At the moment, I'd say it's still anyone's game. It's not clear cut. Taking an inhib wouldn't be the right thing to do because you're unlikely, nice bowler, you're unlikely, oh, Malzo up again. Oh, the Ivan Shields, get away. Oh, he might have been able to get away if he just ran. But it's very unlikely that this game will end in the next 2, 3, 4 minutes. So all you're really doing when you take an inhib that early, you're channeling gold into mid lane. And yes, you could argue, oh, but if you take an inhib early, their super minis are really hard to kill. If you go do other things, you know, you take every dragon then because they're supers. You take every Rift Herald and maybe a Baron. Yeah, that is an argument, definitely as a positive. But there's only so much you can do, you know, in the still relatively early mid game. You know, 20 minutes is still kind of early. Like, well, 17 minutes, like when they could have maybe gotten an inhib is really early. There's only so much you can do. A dragon spawns every 5 minutes. You know, Baron isn't up yet. So are you going to do enough to outweigh, let's, for example, give this game, giving a Vladimir continuous free farm of super minions? It's a risk. And, you know, it's a risk, and most of the time I wouldn't take that early inhib risk. Unless you're just insanely hyper-fed. They're trying to dive a Warwick, and they do get it. Unfortunately, Jace doesn't go down. I will say, I do see a decent amount of Jace still, and a lot of them just don't do very well. And I've always said, I like this champion. You know, a lot of you know my history with him. Season 9, he was obviously my main to get Master for the first time ever. Rek'Sai is going to try and get away. This could be a big mistake from Rek'Sai, by the way, because if the Rek'Sai dies here, which is looking very likely, Soraka ultimate has come down, that then could be Baron. So I have no idea, because Baron is literally about to spawn in 30 seconds, might be a bit too long. But yeah, don't know why Rek'Sai overstayed there. Jace made the correct decision to back away. Rek'Sai stayed. But yeah. That's an odd decision by him. Oh, nice silence by Soraka, but nice Q by Malz. Not sure a kill is on here, but at least they get the pressure, which is always good. They are pinging Baron. The enemy team is going all in again. Why? And then more bushes. Thank you, thank you. Nom, 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 nom. And then Vlad's going all in because he probably feels pressured that he has to. He's going to die. Okay, they can't now do Baron because Rengar did die, but that's a lot of death for the enemy team. Yeah, they kind of fell apart there. I don't know why the Jace thought it was a good idea to re-engage. You know, they got owned here. And realistically, when the enemy Malzahar is here, a Malz isn't really a champion that's going to be alone. This is questionable. Oh, I was going to say, this is questionable by Rek'Sai, but they killed the Malz quicker than I thought. But yeah, it's still questionable. That's another dead thing. And it's a dead Rek'Sai. And now that actually could be Baron if the Severe doesn't die. Because Rengar's coming up now. That's 25 seconds until Rek'Sai, arguably. They could force the Baron. Jace's TP to try and get the Severe doesn't work. They could force it. Remember, Ivan, Rengar, very strong combo even for Barons. Having bushes hides vision of even that area. But yeah. But as I was saying, yeah, I see a decent amount of Jace still, but I just don't see that champion doing well at all. At all. I don't know why. I like him, but I just don't think it's worth picking him right now. That's a dead Soraka. Bonga. Then he goes on to the Jhin. What? Look at the... Oh my god. This combo is mad. Oh, Rek'Sai's going in. Jumps away to avoid the damage. So I will say, obviously, I wanted to highlight Rengar. Should I play Rengar again? I know a lot of this video has just kind of been, look how strong the Rengar-Ivan combo is. Yeah, true. And I'm just going to move a couple things on my desk. Because I know to some people, and although that was a really good video, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I might give Rengar a go soon. But I thought I'd give you guys a little looky as well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, in the day, I have recorded a video, not streaming, of me with a certain little pleb just down there having a little snooze. She's having a little snooze. So there we go. So I will say, need to think more about dog cam, like a mount system. I've got a spare webcam. I just need to work out how I'm going to mount it to look. But yeah, just thought I'd show you that. Why not? Anyway, that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Rengar featured Ivan. If you did, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.